Good evening all from a dull and overcast UK, very autumnal out there. Just finished work and this is waiting for me. Now I have just literally cut open the sellotape, but I haven't opened this yet. So you're doing this with me, you're going to see it for the first time. I do. So let's take a look. This is obviously from Mad About Horror here in the UK. In here is, they always do very nice packaging. Mad About Horror, look, handled with care. Very nice. And what have we got in here? This is my shipping invoice. And Mad About Horror, the UK's leading specialist. You can read that there. And do check out their website. Oh, a nice pic on the backside there. Very cool. And Saw the Experience. Nice. In London from the 27th of October. Where is that on at? Not too sure. Does it say? I don't know. Probably have to go to the website to check that out. And here, oh, great, this is another one of the pumpkin postcards. And I haven't got this one yet. This is the third one I've got in this series. And they're pretty cool. Love those little pumpkin postcards. And, oh, very nice. Look at this. Sam Hain, 1992, Mad About Horror, limited edition of 500. And a very, very cool pic of Mr. Myers on this here postcard. Like that a lot. Thank you, Mad About Horror. That is very, very cool. Like that a lot. Thank you. Now on to the main event. As always, very, very well packaged. I don't work for Mad About Horror. I'm not endorsed by them, but I do really like the product that they supply. And here it is. This one-handed if I can. Bear with, I'm gonna use my other hand just to move that and pop this guy into some sort of shape. Two hands really would be easier, but for the purposes of our video, wow, okay. This is, of course, a Halloween Ends Michael Myers mask. Now I'm going to pop this guy onto a little stand so we can take a good look of him, and also some thoughts about Halloween Ends, both the mask, the product from Trick or Treat Studios, and the movie, which I have seen a couple of times. Okay, be right back. So, taking a bit more detailed look, I've just thrown this onto a temporary stand. Let's take a look at some of the detailing on this mask. You can see that obviously these are from the screen used mold, which is great. I mean, it's great as a fan to be able to have that. They have kind of simulated mold by using what looks like kind of cotton or cotton wool to use that mold, which is fairly prominent as we move around the mask. You have all the details there, the aging, the weathering to make the latex look old. Let's move around to the side so we can get a better look at the more weathered side. Obviously there's some fire damage there from Halloween 2018. We did see the bullet wound on the other cheek, which is now healed, unlike the Kills mask. But there's a really good paint job there. I mean, it's very nicely done. Particularly like the hairline on this. It looks like they've kind of glued it down and folded it back over on itself rather than having the visible hairline like most of the other Trick or Treat Studios masks. So that there is a big improvement. I wish they'd done that all the way through on the whole production line of the Myers masks. It's a big improvement and much more screen accurate too. And moving around to the back, you can see the burn detail there on the hair is nicely done. This is quite matted down, meant to look old. Bit like Michael himself in the movie, which we'll come on to. By the way, I am going to have a few spoilers in this when I come to my review of the movie. So if you don't want any spoilers, if you haven't seen the film yet, take a look at the mask and by all means, just click next. The mask itself, yes, again, great work from Trick or Treat Studios. I'm always highly impressed by the content that these guys put out. I mean, going back a few years as a long-term fan of Halloween and the horror franchise in general, we just didn't have this kind of thing. Certainly when I was younger, this wasn't an option for us to have this quality at this price. What was out there was basically fan-made stuff, which was incredible. People did amazing jobs using old Kirk masks and, you know, coming up with their own sort of takes on it, which were great. But we didn't have this mass-produced quality of mask, and it doesn't get any better, obviously, than having something from the screen-used mold. If we're talking about accuracy, that's as accurate as it gets, paint job aside. On this, we do have a split mouth. Size-wise, to me, it looks in the same ballpark as my Halloween Kills mask, perhaps slightly bigger. Haven't tried it on yet. What we could do, I could size it up, if you bear with me, next to the 78. Sizable mask. I think it's bigger than. There's a size comparison, and I think that the Ends mask is a bigger mask than the Halloween 78. Bigger all round. It's kind of deceptive. It doesn't look it because of the hairline, the more matted hairline, but it is a bigger mask. Okay, so I decided to try the mask on for the purposes of my review, and it's definitely slightly larger than the Kills mask. I've had to put a little bit of plastic, just some of the plastic it came in, plastic bag in the top there, just to raise it up, otherwise it was sitting quite low on my head. And I think I have a fairly average size head, as far as I'm aware. Hat size 58, if that makes any difference. And yeah, it's a really nice design, an interesting looking horror mask, Michael Myers mask. Which then brings us on to Halloween Ends. Man, I don't know. I just don't know how to feel about it. The first time I watched it, I came away and I really, it didn't go in the direction I thought it was going to. It didn't kind of tick my boxes as a Halloween film. The last film with Myers and Laurie Strode. It didn't do what I wanted to do, and I came away with an immense sense of dissatisfaction from it. I got the whole Corey character. I got that they were trying to do something different there, and I went in with fairly low expectations, having been drip-fed, though trying to avoid it, but it's kind of impossible. You know, if you're around the horror community, you kind of get little tidbits of things, and I knew that it was going to be the whole kind of Corey storyline. And anyway, I came away and I didn't love it, you know. I really didn't love it. And then I felt exactly the same way about Kills the first time I watched it. I came away, I was like, what the fuck is that? It's not for me, you know. Evil dies tonight. What is that storyline? What's that storyline, you know, with the guy with mental health issues and the town hounds him? And how is that relevant to the story that I really want to follow in this? You know, I'm invested in the characters of Michael and Laurie and the history back since 78. You know, that's what we kind of want to see. And funnily enough, we already had that. Like it or loathe it, personally I love it. We had that in Halloween H2O. Entirely, that whole premise, that whole film was all about Michael, dodgy mask aside, and Laurie in an alternate universe. And that was a very satisfying kind of payoff in what was supposed to be the final movie in the franchise. It was supposed to be that.
And unfortunately, we had Resurrection after with, you know, the Kung Fu and Buster and all that, which, you know, wasn't so great. That was another low point of the franchise, in my opinion. But H2O itself, I think, still holds up. I've watched it many times since. It's a really easy go-to film. Put it on, have a little bit of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode action, you know. It's a well-produced film. I think Sean Cunningham, right? And you know, he doesn't really do a bad turn. You know, it's quite slick. It's very well made, and it's enjoyable. It's a film you can go back to and watch time and time and time again, you know, even if you don't absolutely love it. And obviously it doesn't come close to Halloween 78. Then again, what does? Anyway, H2O is great. With Kills, yeah, I went back to it. I did go back to it, and I enjoyed it a lot more the second time round. I think there's some great gory action sequences. I love the scene with Michael and firefighters, you know. I love the opening segment with Loomis, you know, that's great. And actually, even the end, I really enjoy. There's still some filler inside the movie, the hospital scenes, which I don't love. I still don't love those. They're kind of almost a skip for me, but they're tolerable because there's enough Myers action and, you know, enough thrills and spills to keep me motivated to want to watch the film, to see what's going to happen next. And it's the middle movie, so those middle acts, you know, they're maybe always going to be a little bit dodgy, but with Ends, I was hoping we'd find a bit more of a resolution. Instead, it took us on a complete tangent, you know, into the Corey storyline. And to be honest, Michael Myers almost became a side character in his own franchise. That's a really interesting decision. I mean, I don't know, you know, you're not going to get many chances to invest yourself in a classic character, classic horror character like Michael Myers. And if you've got that, if you're privileged enough to have that, use it, man. That is your ticket. That is your golden egg. That is what the audience want to see. Really, it is. Make another film about a guy who gets bullied, and, you know, it doesn't have to be a Michael Myers film. So I think that was you know, that was a bit of a fail. I'm not saying it was a badly produced film. It was very well made. I think the acting was good. The kid that played Corey was great, you know. A bit unconvinced about the whole bullying situation. I mean, Corey looked like he could have kicked their ass, right? They looked about 12. So I wasn't sure about that. And then, you know, spoilers again, so turn away if you haven't seen it. But Corey kicking Michael Myers' ass and taking his mask, that for me just felt like a low blow, man. That is a stomach punch. What is that? What were they thinking? What? I mean, what really? No. Just no in that regard, no. So anyway, I went back to the movie. I thought, listen, I hate to hate a Halloween film. I hate to hate it. I want to love it. I'm there wanting to love that film. I really want to love it. Hate to hate it. So I went back, watched it again, enjoyed it nominally more the second time around, maybe because I knew what was coming. And subsequently went back and I watched it a third time. So more fool me. 3 times is enough. I really wouldn't want to go back and revisit that film. Even if I was doing a Halloween marathon, I'd be really disinclined to want to go back and press play, you know, on Ends again. Which is sad, because I want a movie that I can watch. When Halloween comes round, I want to be able to do my Halloween marathon. I want to watch all of the movies, and I want a satisfying end movie, which is I'm going to be like, yes, that was cool. So cool, I want to go right back to the start and watch it over again. Didn't get that with Ends. It was kind of, I don't know.
So, very luckily for you guys, because I could have gone on for another 25 minutes, my battery ran out on my phone as I was recording that. So we went from Halloween 78, Bing Bang Bosh, to Halloween Ends. Now, I have to say, it's a great looking mask. If nothing else, Halloween Ends gave us a really cool Michael Myers mask. So I'm grateful for that. You know, let's think our cup is half full here. We got a great looking Halloween mask out of Halloween Ends. As for the rest of it, I remain somewhat unconvinced, as I'm sure my my rant, or let's call it a review, aptly demonstrated. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you thought about Halloween Ends. Let me know what you think about this mask. Personally think the mask is very cool. It's cooler than the film. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.